As both the NFL Combine and the NFL Draft are both on the horizon, all of the football world has set its sights on all of these prospects, trying to pick just which one will make a big splash on their team. Well, there's one of these top quarterbacks that have been mentioned in this upcoming draft that seems to be constantly linked to my Carolina Panthers. And in this video, I'm going to let you all know whether I think it's a good or a bad idea if we draft him at 9, and we're going to get into that right after this.
From the foe, you dig?
Welcome to The Way I See It with Jamario Rashad. This is a Carolina Panthers fan channel. Please do me a favor by hitting the like button, and please make sure you subscribe as I am on my road to 1K. Trying to get this channel monetized. Now that that's out of the way, let's go ahead and get to this video. If you all did not know from the intro as well as the thumbnail, the prospect that I am talking about is none other than Florida's Anthony Richardson, who has been a name that is strongly linked to my Carolina Panthers at that number 9 pick in this upcoming 2020 NFL Draft. Now, I'm going to give you all the good, the bad, and my final conclusion on whether or not we should make this reach for this inexperienced quarterback, and we're going to begin with the positives, of course. So the first thing I want to mention about Anthony Richardson is he has natural NFL size. At only 21 years old, he is 6'4", 232 pounds. There should be no slack or no trouble when it comes to adjusting to the NFL physicality and getting out there and playing with these grown men, because even as a young man, Anthony Richardson has a body that is ready for that NFL contact. Now, at Florida, he displayed a play style that many believe, as well as myself, is tailor-made for an efficient offense in today's modern-day NFL. And what I mean by that is he is a bona fide dual threat. He can do it with his arm as well as his legs. For context, in his final year at Florida, he passed for 2,549 yards and 17 touchdowns. Now, in addition to that, he used his legs to rush for 654 yards and 9 additional touchdowns, just showing how versatile and how dangerous he could be just using his natural God-given gifts whenever the pocket breaks down or whenever there may not be a pass available, to actually get out there, extend the play, move the chains, and keep the offense on the field. That is something that Anthony Richardson possesses, that many people and very, very few people that have ever even reached the NFL, very few people, period, possess. Now, what that means is he is born with something that cannot be taught. Now, many people talk about these project players and these guys that may need a little bit of time to work out as being guys that need to have everything taught to them, that need to have their mechanics either completely restored, reinforced, or just completely overhauled. They just need a completely different overview of their game. Anthony Richardson is born with something that allows players that need a little more coaching to just he doesn't need that. His elusivity, his ability to run, his speed, as well as his arm talent. If you all have seen any of the videos on Twitter, I don't care if they're just him in shorts, if you see this guy and the zip of the ball when it comes off of his hands is absolutely ridiculous. The weight room cannot give you that. That is God-given genetic ability that Anthony Richardson is just so much superior to every other player in this draft when it comes to those traits, that it is ridiculous, man. So with that being the case, he is just somebody that is going to be very hard to pass on if you have the opportunity to take it right here, because he is so much of a physical specimen, and we have such an offensively sound staff in place that is ready to support a guy that may come with the shortcomings of an Anthony Richardson, or all the things that come with them. They're ready to support and improve those things. Now, the final thing I want to speak on is terms of being a positive. If we are able to snatch Anthony Richardson at the ninth pick, not only will we be fulfilling the obligation, and I say that with vigor, the obligation that this team has to fill the role of the future QB for this young core and this young strong team. We would not have to trade up, which many people project we would do if we wanted to go out and get any of these top QBs. If we were able to stand pat at pick number 9 and get Anthony Richardson right there, that would mean that the Christian McCaffrey trade that we did early last season to get back to, I believe, 2 seconds and 2/3 would absolutely be a success. No matter where we are picking in this draft, if we are able to go into it with extra draft capital, get our QB, and be able to fill out multiple holes that we have throughout the rest of the roster, that is an absolute win in every way, shape, and form. And I believe that myself as well as everybody in Panthers Nation will rejoice and celebrate that, because that's pretty much the best case scenario, getting your guy and still being able to have draft capital, not late round but early round, first second or third day picks to go out and to supplement the other needy parts of this team. That would be an absolutely stellar draft for this team, and getting Anthony Richardson at 9 would allow us to do that, man. So now I'm going to move on to inevitably what we have to talk about, because we like to be objective on this channel. We do have to talk about what would be the potential negatives of drafting Anthony Richardson and drafting Anthony Richardson specifically at pick number 9. Now, I have to highlight the fact that at only 21 years old and only starting 13 games total in his 2 years his I guess 3 technically. He is a redshirt sophomore at Florida. He is the most inexperienced quarterback coming into this draft of the top 5 guys, and many believe that will be his shortcoming immediately once he hits the league. Being that he is so inexperienced, he may not be ready to start day one. Now, I believe both Mel Kiper and Todd McShay of ESPN both are under the belief that this guy is very worthy of a first round pick, but he will not be ready to start at any point during his rookie year. And with the staff we have in place, there's no reason why this team should be in a place where they feel as though they should start a rookie quarterback and potentially risk losing games if we are able to keep the ship afloat without actually throwing Anthony Richardson out there. But that does mean that we lose a year off his initial rookie contract. We are going to be paying him first round top 10 money, and he would not actually be on the field, and that would be something that may be actually costly for the Carolina Panthers in the immediate future. Why? Because we would actually go out and have to sign a veteran quarterback that would have to step in and actually fill in while Anthony Richardson could not play for us this upcoming year. Sam Darnold is no longer under contract. Matt Corral is coming off a foot injury, and I believe we have one other quarterback under contract, and I believe none of them have any relevance in terms of starting experience whatsoever. Baker gone, Sam gone. I'm not sure if PJ is still on the roster. Eason may still be around, but we have no competent QB if Anthony Richardson is not ready to be put on the field, and that means that he may be forced to be put on the field, exposed early, have his confidence ruined, and this just may be a snowball that could ruin the foreseeable future for the early time, which is seen as the money time for these young talented quarterbacks getting that Super Bowl win on their rookie contract. We do not want to ruin this guy in his rookie year if he is not ready. With that being said, if we did have to supplement the team with a veteran quarterback that then holds back or that pretty much hinders our ability to spend money in free agency to go out and sign other players, whether it be a linebacker, a safety, and an additional edge rusher, somebody to be able to supplement this team in a different way. We would have to allocate those dollars that we could use on a potential impact player like we found in the last offseason with Frankie Louvu, that would actually have to be put forth to somebody that would be a quarterback. And if it is going to be any quarterback that is going to be adequate and that can actually win with this team, they are going to command at least some type of okay money as well as a multiple year contracts to come here and actually play. So that sets us back and puts us back on in terms of a being held back cap wise by quarterbacks that aren't helping the team. We may not be set back as far as we have been in the past, but this is investing financial capital rather than draft capital, but at the same time it holds the team back and it hurts the team in the same way. So I would hate to put the team in that situation just to have to pay a guy just because Rich isn't necessarily ready. Now the most damning part about his game would come in terms of his technical ability and what you see in terms of his mechanics out there. While he was dynamic as a dual threat in his 1 year starting at Florida, Anthony Richardson, in fact, was only a 55% passer. And all of the draft analysis so far that I've read up on him, as well as the the breakdowns I've watched trying to do my due diligence, the common denominator that many people have found is that he is very inconsistent with his arm. Although he can sling it all over the field, when it comes to actually putting the ball accurately where his receivers can catch the ball, that is not something that he can do consistently at times. And because he is so athletic, like other dual threat quarterbacks, sometimes he struggles to get to his read, and he would rather just put his head down, use his physical abilities to run and get the first down, or at least to get out of the pocket and scramble. That may hurt him at the next level as he sees bigger, faster players, that he is not going to just be so much more physically dominant than them. That is going to be something that holds him back at the next level, but I believe that is something that could be helped with this staff that we have in place right now, man. So with that being said, that brings me to my conclusion. Do I believe that we should actually go out and should we go out and pick Anthony Richardson at 9? Undoubtedly, 100%. Yes, there is no reason why with Frank Reich, with Josh McCown, with Jim Caldwell, all of these offensive minds, all of this quarterbacking knowledge from the NFL seeping throughout this staff, there is no reason why, if you bring in a guy that is considered a quote-unquote project, why a staff wouldn't be able to get him up to speed relatively quickly and ready to play in what I believe should be quicker than an entire year. I believe if he is not ready at the beginning of the year, 8 or 9 games into the season, I would like to see what Anthony Richardson has, and I believe that at that point, he should be ready. I truly do believe that. Now, for a little more context in terms of what he was doing in his 1 year at Florida, I do have to remind you all that Florida plays in the SEC, what many consider to be the absolute toughest conference in college football. And as a redshirt sophomore in his first year starting, he was able to go 6-6. Now, for a little more context, in this upcoming 2023 draft, the Florida Gators only have one other offensive player that was ranked in the top 200 of eligible draft prospects for this draft. So that just goes out and shows that Anthony Richardson was the offense. The only other player he has was his offensive guard that was protecting his blind side. He had no stars when it comes to his skill positions: wide receiver, tight end, running back. Nobody. Rich was the offense, and in the toughest conference in America in terms of college football, he was able to go 6-6, and whether him being exposed may have been due to the fact that he did not have comparable talent at the other skill positions on his offense. So with that being said, man, I need to remind you all that a lot of these things that he is being downgraded for in terms of his drafting profile or his draft grade, a lot of these same things are consistent with the things that we heard was wrong with Jalen Hurts. And Jalen Hurts, in fact, they thought so little of him that he actually slid to the second round. Anthony Richardson, undoubtedly, although he is a project, everybody is in pretty much consensus with their belief that he will go in the first round. So if Jalen Hurts in year 3 is able to lead his team to a Super Bowl, and you have a guy that has similar traits that can potentially, in the right situation with an all-star coaching staff that we have here in Carolina, could potentially reach Jalen Hurts levels and beyond, you make that move every day and twice on Sundays, man. And those are my thoughts on this topic, man. What do you all think? Should we go out and we get Anthony Richardson if he is available at number 9, man? What do you all think about my thoughts, the good, the bad, the conclusion? You all leave your thoughts on this potential acquisition, whatever they may be, in the comments section. I'm Jamario Rashad. This is the way I see it, and I'm out. Peace.